Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Om Agyantimrandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kalamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Okay, so we will start with the Trinath Abhisunichena, Devotion to Guru. Krishna admitted to Arjuna, yes, whatever you have said, that is a fact. This mind is so obstinate, so fickle, and very difficult to control. Still, there is a way. Abhyastena tu konteya viragya viragyana cha grihate. Krishna tells it will be possible. Krishna instructed this to Arjuna, but without devotion to Guru, one cannot achieve that stage of controlling one's senses and mind. And can Guru Charna Seva Upsana Upastram. This is the weapon. Hari, Hari Guru Charna Upasana, serving Guru completely, surrendering oneself to the lotus feet of Guru. By the achievement of Guru Kripa, if through your service Gurudev is pleased, Krishna will be pleased, and your mind can be very easily fixed at his lotus feet. Otherwise, you cannot fix your mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna will disappear from your mind because you have committed an offense, aparadha. Be simple hearted. This question often arises for many, many years. One has stayed in the matha, in the Guru ashrama, in the temple, associating with sadhus, Vaishnavas, listen to Harikatha and rendering so many services. Still, why aren't you making any advancement on the spiritual path? Why is there no progress at all? In the answer to this question, it is said that person is not a simple hearted person. He is just externally performing all this service. He is staying in the ashram for so many years and has been engaged in so many activities. Such a great worker, a great devotee, a great servant. He is performing so many services, but in his heart, he is he is not at all simple. There is duplicity, complexity, or crookedness in his heart. Therefore, he cannot make any progress in spite of outwardly engaging in all these activities. He cannot advance on the spiritual path if his devotion is not increasing. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has explained this in the Bhakti Sandarbha. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became the messenger of the Pandavas. The Pandavas are such dear devotees of Krishna. He went to the court of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana invited Krishna to take food with him. He had prepared so much food, but Krishna did not go there. The Lord did not touch what was offered because Duryodhana was not a simple hearted person. He was a crooked man, a duplicitous person. In other words, he was not a Vaishnava. Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, Prabhupada Maharaj, has said simplicity is Vaishnavism. One who is not simple is never a Vaishnava, though outwardly he may be posing himself as a devotee, but if there is no simplicity in his heart, he is never an actual Vaishnava. This is the most important thing. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj and Srila Jiva Goswami has said this. Therefore, one should be simple and should give up duplicity. One who is not simple cannot accept Guru as Mukunda Prestha, a very dear, intimate associate of Krishna. He accepts Guru as an ordinary human being. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Krishna said to Uddhava, that Guru, that Acharya, who teaches by his own example, is my manifestation. Acharyam mam Vijnanyam. Nava Mita Habichit. Don't consider him an ordinary human being. Mat Swarupa, he is my manifestation. Sarvadeva, Maya Guru, all the demigods are manifested in the body of Guru because he is a dear devotee of Krishna. Shuddha Bhakta, a pure devotee, and a very intimate associate of Lord. Even Krishna himself serves him as Krishna served the Pandavas and become their messenger. Krishna is Bhaktavatsala. Krishna is known as Bhakta Bhaktimam. The Bhakta devotee is known as Bhagavad Bhaktiman. Krishna is always seeking an opportunity to serve his pure devotee. It is said that Krishna unnoticeably follows behind his pure devotee to take some dust off his lotus feet. He is Bhaktavatsala. Though Krishna is the supremely independent personality of Godhead with no equal and no superior, still Krishna has said, I am subordinate to my devotee. Aham Bhakta Paradhina. Bhakta Ama Prema. Bhakta Ama Preme Bandhiyache Hridaya Bhitare. That devotee has bound me up with the robe of love in his heart. Though I am supremely independent, almighty, and all powerful, I have no power to break that bondage of love. Krishna is Bhakt Vatsala. His devotee is very dear to him. If someone commits an offense to such a devotee, how will Krishna be pleased? How can Krishna be meditated upon? If you offend Krishna's dear devotee, how can Krishna come to your mind? Never, never, it is not at all possible. Render service to Guru with a simple heart. Therefore, what Narad Muni has spoken here, he is confirmed by all the Mahajanas and all the Shastras. If a person does not practice anything, no sadhana, no yoga sadhana, no Ashtanga yoga, pranayam, or meditation, but if he only renders service unto God with a simple heart and pleases Him, he receives the full mercy of Krishna and can see Krishna everywhere. Krishna is always visible before him because he has the mercy of Guru Kripa. The mercy of Guru is very powerful and most important that is stated here. Many people are coming and many devotees are here in the matha, in the ashrama for so many years, listening to Hari Katha. But really, in whose ears is Hari Katha entering? How many are actually hearing? That is the question. One who is really simple hearted person, who has no complexity, no duplicity, who never thinks the spiritual master is an ordinary human being. He listens. Hari Katha enter into his ears. Otherwise, though outwardly he may appear to be sitting and listening, but he is not actually hearing. Hari Katha is never entering into his ears because he is not simple-hearted person. He is duplicitous person. There is crookedness in his heart. He is engaged in politics. He is not simple-hearted person. In other words, he is not Vaishnava at all. Sri Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Prabhupada Maharaj and all Mahajanas have made the same point. Maya is very strong. Deva hi asa guna maya mama maya duratyaha. It is very difficult to overcome Maya. Maya is attracting us in so many ways and in so many forms. We are not really attracted towards Krishna because we are not simple hearted, but we are crooked. The most dangerous moment is the moment that we have no protector. Everybody will be your enemy at that instant. Who will protect you? Krishna is the only protector. Krishna vina raksha करता और कहा नहीं. Who does Krishna protect? Krishna protects Vaishnavas, Bhaktas, devotees, those who are real devotees, real Vaishnavas, those who are simple hearted persons. Krishna never protects those who outwardly pose themselves as Vaishnavas, but who are in fact crooked persons and politicians. Krishna protected the Pandavas. Krishna did not protect the Kauravas, Duryodhana, and his brother because they were duplicitous. Therefore, if one is not a simple hearted person, he cannot listen to Harikatha, though outwardly posing. He cannot associate with a Vaishnava sadhu. Harikatha will never enter into his ears. He really cannot serve sadhu or guru. He is attracted towards Maya and he is captured by her. This is the most important to understand. Here in this material world, there are so many hypocrites. Those who pose as sadhu, Vaishnavas, and are supposedly speaking Harikatha, they are hypocrites. They are not real devotees. They may be great panditas, learned scholars, but they have no pure devotion. Therefore, they cannot speak real Harikatha. Devotion, bhakti, will never be aroused in anyone who listen to them. It is stated, Sarpochita mayo yatha. Milk is nutritious food, but it becomes poisonous if touched by the tongue of a serpent. Similarly, Harikatha that comes out from the lips of duplicitous person, a crooked-hearted person, one who is not a devotee or Vaishnava, whose heart is not pure and simple, will never actually be Harikatha. Whoever hears from such person will never benefit from listening to Harikatha. This has been stated, therefore, one must be very, very careful. Okay, now we read from the Prabhupada Lilamrita. In February 1974, as Prabhupada was traveling eastward from Los Angeles, he wrote Guru Dasa that he would like to come to Vrindavan as soon as his residential rooms were completed, and he asked when that would be. Guru Das consulted Surabhi, who said 1 month. Trying to be more positive, Guru Dasa invited Prabhupada to come and move into his new quarters in 3 weeks. But Srila Prabhupada telegrammed back that he would be coming in too. At that time, Prabhupada's house had no roof or floor and only portions of the outer walls. Surabhi began a marathon construction effort and hired 2 more crews, one for day and one for night. 2 weeks non-stop they worked, drastically cutting corners. They plastered and painted simultaneously, and as a result, the walls remained wet. A few days before Prabhupada's arrival, they put down a temporary floor, bricks covered with cow dung, covered with rugs, covered with sheets. The weather was cold and the house had no heating. The morning Prabhupada arrived, the devotees all gathered with him as he sat happily before his desk, praising their achievement. He said if they could keep working like this, they would finish everything before Janmashtami. Although, almost immediately upon his arrival, Prabhupada began to manifest the symptoms of a cold, but he would not hear of moving to another place. This is my first house, he said. Now I am going to stay here. The large brick and stone room was simple and austere and remained dark during most of the day. But Prabhupada considered it his Vrindavana residence. Soon, local distinguished visitors began calling on him, and he received them warmly, discussing Krishna consciousness hour after hour in his room. In the evening, he would lecture there and hold kirtanas. Prabhupada had a problem to face in Vrindavan. Guru Das had informed him that Mr. S wanted to take back 50 feet of the donated land, claiming the construction was not going quickly enough, that he had never intended to give the front portion. He was thinking of using it for shops, maybe even a petrol pump. Prabhupada was alarmed for Mr. S to take back the front part of the property would ruin the temple scheme and make a face of the gift. What good was land without proper access to it? On further inquiry, Prabhupada learned that Guru Das had not yet received the actual deed. Prabhupada was greatly disturbed, yet he proceeded calmly and intently. Guru Das, he said, should immediately secure the deed from the registrar and construct a high brick wall around the property. Prabhupada's secretary wired Mr. S, who was away from Vrindavan, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada, now in Vrindavan until the 13th, now settle up front piece as promised. Mr. S wired his reply. Front part of land will be used for other purposes. As decided earlier, letter follows. Suddenly it seemed that Prabhupada had another Bombay case on his hands. Mr. X's action, however, confirmed Prabhupada's urgency for completing the construction. Had the land been already walled and temple built, there would have been no question of Mr. S taking back the land. Prabhupada followers could now see clearly his reasons for pushing them. He had been vigilant, even heavy and critical, but for good reasons. Maya position to Krishna consciousness was always present, so that if the devotee let up for even a moment, they could suffer great losses. The question, why hurry? Why be so anxious to build the temple right away? Would never have been asked. It was a question of the knave, the lazy. As long as the Krishna consciousness movement had so in temples in Vrindavan, the threat would exist that there might never be temple. Prabhupada wrote to a friend in Calcutta, "This statement of K has given me much concern." He said personally to me that under the dictation of Srimati Radharani, he has given the land to us in charity. We have invested already lakhs of rupees for constructing temple. Now, if he uses the fund portion for other purposes, there will be great damage to the view of the temple. Kindly see Mr. N.S., brother of K, and settle this up so we can go on in our progressive construction work. Kindly treat this as very urgent. In my absence from Vrindavan, Prabhupada took the opportunity to speak with Mr. S. Brothers as well as Mr. S. Lyers, but had not been given the name of Srimati Radharani. He informed them could not be taken back. Mr. S. Associates agreed, at least for the moment. Mr. S. had no substantial position. Meanwhile, the laborers were working quickly to build a 12 feet high wall around the property. It was 4 a.m. Prabhupada sat in the cold darkness with a small desk lamp shining before him. Having risen from bed at 2 and come into his main room to dictate Srimad Bhagavatam purports, he now sat silently. He wore a wool knit hat pulled over his ear, a sweater, and a grey wool chadar around his shoulders. On the other side of the double doors sat his servant, peeking in to see what his spiritual master was doing. On Prabhupada's last visit to the United States, he had acquired a new secretary servant, Satsvarupa Das Goswami. Despite the cold, Prabhupada's new assistant was happy to be in Vrindavan and so intimately situated close to his spiritual master. Prabhupada rang his bell. The servant jumped up, opened the double door, and entered the room. In the far corner of the large room, seated at the desk, he saw Prabhupada looking grave and mystical, his beautiful, intense eyes sparkling. At, as Satsvarupa offered obeisances, he thought of his great fortune in being there with his spiritual master. When he sat up, he saw Prabhupada nod slightly, and he felt that Prabhupada was acknowledging his servant's good fortune. Okay, I think it's 6 a.m., so we will close over here. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.